The Goodyear welt is a specific method of attaching the upper to the sole. It involves stitching, not gluing. It allows the sole to be replaced multiple times over the life of the boot. It is also slower, more expensive, and requires skilled labor that the American boot industry spent the last 40 years exporting. The leather is a specific category: full-grain American tannery hides, oil-tanned or vegetable-tanned to a published specification. Not corrected, not imported, not pigmented to hide the splits. The craft is the people. The trained lasters, stitchers and finishers who knew the work because they had done it for 30 years. 7 brands once produced American boots that met all 3 standards. Today, none of them do. Some moved manufacturing overseas, some were acquired by conglomerates that cut the labor cost and the leather grade. One shut down completely in 2024, and nobody outside the boot enthusiast community noticed. This is the list. By the end of this, you will know what was lost, and you will know exactly which brands buried it. Brand 1. Chippewa Boots, 1901 to 2024. Chippewa Boots was founded in 1901 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. The brand built its reputation on Goodyear welted work boots using American leather and American labor. For most of the 20th century, Chippewa was a benchmark for Midwestern work boot construction. The brand was acquired by Justin Brands in 1984. Production gradually moved away from the original Wisconsin facility. Quality declined in measurable ways through the 2000s and 2010s. The leather specification was reduced, the welt construction was inconsistent on lower-tier models, and the lasting work was outsourced. In 2024, Justin Brands announced the closure of Chippewa Boots. The brand will no longer produce boots under its name. A 123-year American boot company shut down quietly, with most of its customer base finding out through trade publications. The welt is gone, the leather is gone, the craft is gone, so is the brand. Brand 2. Fry. Fry was founded in 1863 by John A. Fry in Marlborough, Massachusetts. The brand produced Civil War cavalry boots, the original Fry harness boot lineage. For more than 140 years, Fry boots were American-made from American leather. The decline began in the early 2000s and accelerated through the 2010s. Manufacturing moved to Mexico, then to additional offshore locations across Asia. The leather specification shifted from American tannery hides to lower-grade imported leather. The Goodyear welt construction on the heritage models was replaced with cemented or Blake-stitched construction on most of the contemporary line. The brand still sells. The product is no longer the product. A Fry harness boot, purchased in 1985, was a different physical object than a Fry harness boot purchased today. Same name, same shape. Different welt, different leather, different craft. Brand 3. Florsheim Imperial. The Florsheim Imperial line was the American dress shoe standard for most of the 20th century. Founded in 1892 in Chicago, Florsheim produced Goodyear welted dress shoes and boots from American leather. At the A. Florsheim Imperial, purchased today, is a different shoe than one purchased in 1985. The welt construction on most current models is no longer Goodyear. The leather is no longer from American tanneries. The craft was the Chicago labor force, which no longer exists in the Florsheim supply chain. Production migrated to India and other offshore locations through the 1990s and 2000s. The Imperial designation continued to appear on Florsheim products. The construction methods that defined the line did not move with the name. the Imperial name continues. The Imperial construction does not. Brand 4. Timberland. Timberland was founded in 1952 by Nathan Swartz. The original Timberland yellow boot, introduced in 1973, was a waterproof leather work boot made in Newmarket, New Hampshire. It was American leather, American labor, and an engineering innovation in waterproof construction. Timberland was acquired by VF Corporation in 2011. Manufacturing had already moved offshore by then. Today, the yellow boot continues to sell in massive volume. The boot is manufactured in factories across multiple countries, primarily in Asia. The leather specification is no longer the original American tannery hide. The construction is no longer the original Newmarket bottoming work. The boot people wear is not the boot that built the brand. The brand survived. The product did not. Company's Illinois facilities. The Imperial line was the premium tier, the Goodyear welted, leather-soled, full-grain construction that defined American dress footwear. Production migrated to India and other offshore locations through the 1990s and 2000s. The Imperial designation continued to appear on Florsheim products. The construction methods that defined the line did not move with the name. Brand 5. Allen Edmonds. Allen Edmonds was founded in 1922 in Belgium, Wisconsin. The brand produced Goodyear welted dress shoes and boots from American leather at the Port Washington, Wisconsin facility for nearly a century. The Park Avenue, the Strand, and the Higgins Mill were benchmarks for American dress footwear construction. Allen Edmonds was acquired by Caleres in 2016. Manufacturing has been reduced at the Port Washington facility. Multiple product lines that were previously American-made have been moved to imports. The leather specification has been documented as declining across several lines by enthusiast communities and long-time customers. Some Allen Edmonds models are still produced in Wisconsin. The brand is not entirely dead. But the institution that produced consistently American-made, Goodyear welted dress footwear from a single facility no longer exists in the form it did in 2015. If this is the first time anyone has walked you through the decline of these American boot makers in detail, subscribe. No brand sponsorships, no affiliate codes, just what happened. Brand 6. Tony Lama. Tony Lama was founded in 1911 in El Paso, Texas. The brand produced Western boots using American leather and Mexican-American craftsmanship along the Texas border. For decades, Tony Lama was a synonym for premium Western boot construction. Tony Lama was acquired by Justin Brands in the 1990s. Manufacturing moved progressively to Mexico for most of the brand's contemporary lines. The exotic skin boots, the lizard, the python, the ostrich that define Tony Lama's premium positioning are now produced in Mexican factories using imported skin specifications and Mexican labor. The brand is not closed. The El Paso heritage that defined Tony Lama for 80 years is no longer in the product. The leather and the craft moved across the border. The name stayed in Texas as marketing. Brand 7, Sebago, was founded in 1946 in Westbrook, Maine. The brand produced American hand-sewn moccasins, boat shoes, and boots. The Sebago Docksides defined the boat shoe category for 40 years. The main manufacturing tradition was the brand. Sebago was acquired by Wolverine Worldwide in 2003. Manufacturing was moved entirely overseas. The main facility was closed. The hand-sewing tradition that defined the brand was replaced with industrial assembly in Asian factories. In 2018, Wolverine sold Sebago to BasicNet, an Italian apparel conglomerate. The brand now operates primarily as a European fashion label with manufacturing in Asia. The American hand-sewn boat shoe that built Sebago no longer exists in the product. What sells under the name is a different garment, 7 brands, 7 different paths to the same end. Chippewa closed in 2024 after 123 years of American manufacturing. Fry moved 160 years of American boot construction to Mexico and Asia. Florsheim Imperial migrated its Goodyear welted heritage to India and abandoned the construction that defined the name. Timberland was acquired by VF Corporation and now manufactures the yellow boot in Asian factories from non-American leather. Allen Edmonds was acquired by Caleres and has reduced Wisconsin manufacturing on a year-by-year basis. Tony Lama is no longer made in El Paso. The craftsmanship moved to Mexico. Sebago closed the main hand-sewing facility and now operates from Italy with Asian manufacturing. The 7 brands share one structural characteristic. Each was acquired or restructured by a conglomerate that calculated the cost of maintaining American Goodyear welt construction, American leather sourcing, and American craft labor against the retail price the brand could command. In each case, the calculation went against the welt, the leather, and the craft. The boots that built these names are not the boots being sold today. The names continue. The product is a different object. If you own a pair of pre-2010 Florsheim Imperials, pre-2000 Fry harness boots, or pre-2024 Chippewa work boots, you are holding the actual American boot construction. The version you can buy today is not it. The welt is gone, the leather is gone, the craft is gone, the label stayed.